77.
So they got one out at the farm. There's one up there.
But there's like 8 people in here. Garrison, can you do the air conditioning? It said it's 77. Thank you.
Yes, he would want to see him go, so he's probably not warm.
Coming around.
He said no.
It goes right.
I said, you're coming out of it, it doesn't hurt.
I still like sunscreens, because it's a lot of shirts.
Wide brimmed hat? Wide brimmed hat?
The damn thing, that's exactly what it is.
What happened? I dropped some dust in my shoes too.
Border in the stem. Hello Kirk, how you doing? Good, good. You wanna run the meeting, you need to? Okay. All right, I'll help you put this on speaker so I don't hang up on you. Okay, thanks for calling me, Kirk. You bet.
Okay, can you hear us, Kurt?
I can.
Okay.
All right. Well, it's 9:15. Let's start with public comments and pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please keep your comments to 5 minutes or less. For agenda items only.
Hi, Laura Wilson. Hi Kurt, I just wanted to say thank you for calling in for public comments, even though there's not a lot on the agenda that probably anybody's gonna comment about, but it is appreciated that you called in early, so thank you.
You bet.
Like, no comments. Not gonna be any comments today. Dan, isn't it great that 21's open now?
It is, it is.
Nice.
My granddaughter drives from Belle Plaine to Waterloo.
Oh, that had to be rough for her.
She really appreciated that.
She ended up doing like Chelsea through Elbron, or did she go the actual detour
I
through
think that's-
Keystone?
I believe that's how she went. She tried to take gravel for a while.
Ah, that's
And
rough.
But now it's not her. She works up at Allen Hospital. She's one of the administrators up there. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I took it the other day when I had to go to Blairstown. That is nice.
Well, it's gotta be so much safer now too. I mean, there were so many accidents on that road.
I'd really like to see him put some safety signs out there by, 18, across the 30. And we talked about that.
It'd be nice if they widened that corner just a little bit, cause it feels like it's a really tight turn if you're coming from the east to go north. Or if you, even if you're turning to go north from the west, it just feels like it's hard to make that turn.
Yeah.
Either there's not enough of a turn lane, or there's not something.
Well, since that's newly done, they probably won't, DOT won't do anything.
No. I think a longer turn lane eventually might be nice though, if you're for the eastbound lane.
Did you ever hear anything back from DOT?
Yeah, he's not gonna do it. No, yeah, it's, we're on the radar, I guess, so we talked to him and talked to a couple of hours a day. They're gonna wait and see if there's more cause.
At least they have the flashing light that says there's an intersection coming, so that might help a little, but
It's a small, it's pretty small. And I was coming from.
I've missed it occasionally, and I know where that corner is
So,
too.
yeah, that light
East
kind
of
of
Cedar Rapids, there's a
Springville.
bad curve like that, and they got two big signs of flashing lights.
Springville.
Springville, and I told Garrison about that, I said, get ahold of DOT, and maybe they could put that up. I would think that would be a whole lot safer than waiting for somebody else to hurt, you know?
You're talking about V18 or like actually 30 by the intersection?
30.
'Cause yeah, coming,
Both ways coming, the big signs
Yeah.
that you can see, flashing light on each side of the sign.
well, if you're going westbound, I mean, there's that hill right there. You got people flying over that. If you're turning on to 30 from V18, it's just, you're going so slow, people will almost rear end you.
That's where it's really dangerous, when you go west.
Yeah, coming from the west, you can see what's going on, but you pop that hill.
People still, people don't pay attention.
Well, they think you're gonna go 0 to 60 in 5 seconds, and it's like, I'm not gonna waste that gas. I mean, I love my car, but I'm not gonna waste that gas. If I wanted to waste the gas, I could. Or the tires. I'm not, you know how much those tires cost? $200 a piece.
I remember we used to buy all my kids and Doc Woods' building down in that South Lake, and I was going home. Right across the river, with the lights up.
Down there, it was,
Came to call yesterday, and I did it one morning, it was foggy.
Could be does, four people in one accident.
It's not wide enough, and when you're going from the south, you've got plenty of.
Missouri got it, that's
So close, they should. So close.
Never heard of one of them.
If they pop the hill, you
Right off the line,
cross, you gotta sit there and wait, so you better make sure this is westbound.
Well, we probably figured we lived with that hill so long when it was 2-lane that we can do it now.
But they moved the corner too,
Oh, yeah.
cause that corner used to be. farther
That is
west.
further back, yeah.
Moved it east.
It's better than it was.
Still nice to have 4-lane though, I mean, you gotta,
Yeah, that's true.
it's nice to have 4-lane.
I'm looking forward
Especially on
to
those hills.
Following lifestyle. Going off the 21, getting on 30, and having the other lanes, semis. I don't know, I was going up hills, I couldn't make
The
it.
kid on 21 going east, you know, you got that long hill, all on seven. It used to be pretty dangerous too.
You used to have to time it out of Tama to make sure you weren't following us for like 8 miles.
Yeah, cause when we got out there, the hills, it's not like any place fast.
Well, and there's so much traffic that even if you found a place fast, you couldn't do it.
Well, now they're doing that construction, they're bringing up the old highway, there was a new highway on the south side. On 30.
We have 2 stops right now between here and.
Yeah, I never kept track of it.
I've got the one on the edge of Geyser, and I gotta stop, get on, and I've got one when I get off on 330,
Storm's supposed to be in today's forecast. You think we'll actually get anything?
Have they taken it out of that?
This is as of yesterday, I guess. I didn't check this morning. It was time in the morning. Actual rain. Well, it's a storm, like lightning bolt, thunder clouds. But I don't know if that actually is great. Could just be wildflower or wildfire smoke.
Yeah. Kinda hazy.
So we might get spring. I don't know about that.
It's not public comment, so I don't know if we can comment later.
Dan, can we talk, discuss the FS thing? The FS thing, the building out there?
Yes.
Will we be able to make comments later, or should we say something now?
Well, I don't, why don't you wait till after they speak, maybe they'll have some question time for you.
Okay.
Since it wasn't a public hearing, we weren't sure, so. You heard any feedback on the precincts yet from anybody?
No,
Guess that's good, right?
we'll wait and see what the state says.
Laura, how long does it usually take the state to get back after you submit your precinct recommendations?
Well, I've only done it twice, cause we do it every 10 years.
When you said last time, like, everybody was doing it, so it might have taken
Everybody
longer?
was doing it and it was late because,
Cause everybody
the
was doing
census,
it.
yeah, so it was probably a couple weeks.
Oh, well, that's not too long.
No.
I was thinking like
And
months.
see, and this time there won't be everybody doing it, so I don't wanna say earlier, it makes sense if it would not take as long, but.
Hopefully it wouldn't take longer anyway,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I think it'd be 2 weeks or less, that would be my guess.
And since we're not changing any of the voting precincts, I mean, we set those, but, then it's the supervisor
The
districts that
supervisors
they're
will hear
looking at.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you send in those, like, those notes, like, we reviewed for current voting precincts and, you know, saying that this won't change our number of precincts and like your
Yeah.
reasoning, or do you
Yeah.
just send in the map and say,
We
hey?
send in the map and say, based on our current precincts and the possibility, or not the possibility, the fact that we're going from 3 to 5, we base these precincts
On the census?
on the census and we tried to keep them, we did keep them if they approved them next week at the hearing.
So hopefully that'll make them more
Yeah.
inclined to accept it than
Yeah.
just go, oh, they willy-nilly drew a line or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, because in 2020 was the first year the Legislative Services Agency did the supervisor districts, before it was the county. They did that plus voting precincts, now they do the supervisors. So I'm thinking that they'll accept it based on what they did 2 years ago, but.
Well, if they don't, what happens then?
So then they'll send us their recommendation or what they approve for the supervisor districts, and then we'll look at it again to see if we can make our precincts that you guys just said work. So I don't know why they wouldn't take our suggestion, but I'm not in Des Moines, so I can't say what they're thinking, but hopefully it'll all go the way. I mean, they accepted our suggestions 2 years ago for the supervisor districts, so it was 3, but.
It's not like we try to throw 2 supervisors in one district, each current one is in their own district.
Yep,
So,
yep.
yeah.
We
Yeah, I
didn't do
think
that
you
on
guys did a
purpose.
great job.
We didn't do that on purpose, that's just the way it worked out, so.
Yep, yeah, I think it's the fairest one of all, so.
Yeah, because, you know, other than the fact, I know Dan lives out there and Kurt lives in Geyser. I didn't know exactly where Bill lived, so it worked out. So,
Yep, yep. So yeah, hopefully it'll get approved next week and then we'll send our
Laura, have you heard any feedback from anybody? Richard said he hadn't heard anything still.
Nope, haven't had anybody come in or email me or phone and leave a message for anybody, so. And it's been in the paper, so we've had it posted in the hallway for a while, so. I think everybody that had questions about it got it right away early, and then we haven't heard anything since then, so.
So that other map on the left, that's your voting precincts?
Yes, the one on the left is the voting precincts that we did, and the one on the right is the 5 supervisor districts we're suggesting. And the tips. Sometimes it gets chilly in here and I could probably use that, or, you know, those sweatshirts with the thumb holes in them.
Yeah.
Between my legs and my mouth every once in a while.
Well, it's 9:30, it's called meeting to order. Is there a motion to approve last week's minutes?
Motion.
Thank you, all second, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Ben, he's not here yet. Don't see Tammy as far as HR goes. So, claims, I didn't get claims tomorrow.
Oh, let me get those, I'm
I
sorry.
can go get them.
Yeah, check with Maureen, she should
Okay.
have them.
Should get them here in a minute. What do we wanna talk to, move Dan up to the 9:45 slot up to 9:30 here? Can we do that?
Yeah, you could go ahead and start discussing, and then we'll wait till 9:45 before you take action, just in case somebody comes in closer to 9:45 with questions.
Okay.
Does that sound okay, everybody?
So, okay, fellas, you're up.
Good morning, Dan.
Good morning,
Kurt.
you must be Dan Hart.
I am.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Kurt.
You
I'm-
too.
I'm Dan Hart. I'm the Agronomy Operations Manager with New Century FS. Also with us today is Jason Blattner. He's our Environmental and Safety guy for New Century. We're based out of Grinnell currently. We have been pretty rooted in the community here in Tama County since the 20s. FS was originally started by the Farm Bureau back in the 20s to bring fuel oil on farm when the internal combustion engine was designed and invented. Brought fuel oil on farm. Farm Bureau decided that it was needed to bring in an inputs company to start delivering that to our farmers on farm. And it's just snowballed ever since then with all the ag inputs that farmers need today. They needed a good quality input company to provide those inputs for them. We've been in the community here in Tama, just right down, or Toledo, just right down the street here for a long time. And, you know, when it started in the 20s, it started out, there's one in each individual county. And since then, it's been consolidated down. Before it became New Century, it was Iowa River FS, which was a combination of Marshall, Tama, and that was Iowa River. And then Iowa River and Powell Jasper merged to make New Century FS. And since then, we've added a few more counties to it as well. But it is essentially a merger of lots of different individual counties, FSs, together to make the input company that we are today. Deeply rooted in the Farm Bureau. But moving forward, we have a lot of our Tama County customers are demanding more out of us. Every year they demand more and more of a good quality service company. And with that, our board and our team at New Century has developed a plan to build a new state-of-the-art facility, be 1 mile east of Van Wall, out north of Toledo here, to increase our technology, our efficiency, our speed and scale, and develop a better plan to serve our farmer customers in Tama County. A lot of our locations today have been in Tama County a long time. They're badly in need of updating. Environmental and safety concerns also playing a big role in that. So with that installation, we're asking the Board of Supervisors to look at this installation. The Department of Agriculture in the state of Iowa requires us to come to the Board of Supervisors to get them to sign off on an ammonia installation. With that ammonia installation, we have to have certain setbacks from all of the different waterways, homes, places of public assembly, roads, property lines. We have met all those with the Department of Ag. This is another one of those hurdles that we have to go through with the Board of Supervisors to notify and to get them to sign off on. Also, we're gonna consolidate, let me back up here a little bit. So in December of 2019, New Century FS bought all the agronomy and energy assets in Mid-Iowa Co-op. Mid-Iowa Co-op used to be an agricultural input company and energy company. They used to deliver on LP and fuel on farm as well. We bought all those assets in December of 2019, which made Mid-Iowa Co-op totally grain co-op. All they do is handle corn and soybeans now. So when we bought those assets from them, they had fixed assets that were on their location. So out here at Midway, they have 2 anhydrous ammonia bottles there that we need to move off of their property. So we're gonna move them essentially from their location out north of town, 1 mile east. Also with that, we're gonna move, there's 2 bottles that are in Green Mountain, and there's a bottle that's in Garwin out there as well. So there'll be 5 total anhydrous ammonia bullets out there. And then on the LP side, there's 2 LP bullets that are in the city of Traer that are gonna be moving out there. There's 1 in the city of Garwin that's gonna be moving out there. There's 1 in the city of Beeman that's gonna be moving out there. So I don't know if you guys have kind of seen what we're doing here, but we're moving a lot of the hazmat materials out of cities. That's our goal here. Get them out of city limits. There is a plan for Toledo in the 5-year plan to move it south out into the country, and we'll have to revisit that at that point too. But our goal here is to try to get all of the hazmat consolidated into the county, out of the city limits. So to try to lessen the effect of any potential harm that could happen. With these new installations, like our anhydrous ammonia and our LP installations, there's lots of new technology that is used in the industry today for safety purposes. And with both of those installations, there'll be, they call them a base gas or base electric system, where all the belly valves on the storage tanks today are controlled remotely by gas or electric valves. And so essentially like with the ammonia installation, the valves are held open by electricity. So if the electricity is ever cut to it, the valve's shut. So that's that system, like anybody that would be operating it has a button on their side. They can hit the button and the system closes remotely. Same with the LP, hit the button, system closes. So I had the opportunity a week ago to talk to the Toledo fire chief, and the assistant fire chief was informed as well. Kendall Jordan. We actually didn't go out and look at the site because it's still just a bean field today, or a soybean stubble field that we bought. But we were able to, put everything up on the board, show them all the setbacks, show them what we're doing for sure. And I got a letter that I included in my package for you guys. He signed off on it, so did the assistant chief. I guess that's it, probably. Do you have any questions?
Anybody have any questions for Dan?
Will you have bulk, dry fertilizer there too?
There will not be bulk dry fertilizer there.
Okay, so you're just talking ammonia, LP, fuel, diesel,
That's-
gas?
At some point, there will be fuel there,
Okay.
liquid fuels.
Mhm.
That permit, we would have to revisit, because in this first budget, that did not make the first budget. So we would like to consolidate all the bulk fuels out there as well at some point, but the state fire marshal requires us to do that at the time we're actually gonna do it. So today, the state fire marshal requires us to come to the board of supervisors to ask for the LP to be approved, and we would have to come and revisit the bulk fuel when we decide to do that.
Okay, would that ground have to be changed zoning wise from A?
No.
They're not producing anything out there, they're just storing, so it's still ag equipment, ag.
So will you be changing the ground to be like cement or gravel, or will it be staying as, like soil and you're just storing it on top of soil? Or will the soil all be covered with gravel and,
We have to jump through the hoops that like the state fire marshal and the Department of Ag require of us to put these installations in. And with that installation, it would be a containment for the fuel, which we haven't done yet. At some point, we have to put containment in. And I think it's like 110% of the largest tank, if there's ever to be a leak.
what does that include? Like in the ground, you put like a big hole in the ground of
No, it's-
concrete, or is it
it's
above ground?
It's an above ground containment. It's got like a rubber bladder in it. This sits on the ground.
So if you guys do move later, you could take all that with you and all the farm ground would still be underneath untouched, basically. Possibly compacted, but not like you're driving a bunch of equipment over it type stuff.
Essentially, but I'm as deeply rooted as we are in the community today. I don't see us forever. I don't see us moving. I mean, we're 3 years away or 4 years away from being a 100-year business in the community.
Well, I mean, you could always move the location though, if you find a better location, so.
I don't know. I don't see that happening, I guess.
So I had a second question. With all the ammonia, I know there's, security issues. Will it be like highly fenced for security, or I was just looking for aesthetics when you're driving by, if it'll look like a top secret.
The Department of Ag does not require us to do any fencing around the ammonia facility, but the state fire marshal does require us to put fencing around the, I would call it the working end of the LP facility. But we are required to be able to shut everything down and lock it out so that people can't mess with it. Yeah.
How far would that fencing like be from the road, like when you're driving by and seeing it? I mean, like set back pretty far, or?
I mean, it's in accordance with all the setbacks. that
Which
the
I
state fire
haven't
marshal
read those, so I
requires.
don't know like what those setbacks would be.
I'm not so sure.
Ballpark would be fine, I just don't need exact amount.
And would there be a central office building built out there?
Yeah, and there'll be essentially a located warehouse and office right in the middle of this facility, yeah. And to your question about other things that will be out there, so, with COVID and the requirements that's been put on the suppliers to house the stuff that's needed to put a crop in today, and to get it in timely, and to have it for the farmers when they need it, it's required us to start thinking differently about how much warehousing capability we have. So attached to the office, we're building a new warehouse. And then we're also building a state-of-the-art chemical loadout facility there as well.
What's your projected square footage for all your buildings combined between the office and the other facilities you're talking about?
I'd have to run a calculator on it, but I can do that for you. if you want.
Ballparks.
I think the building is,
How big's the building? I would assume it'd be a pretty good sized building.
yeah. I have to grab glasses. Jason, can you read that?
Well, you read it, you're a lot better, your eyes are a lot better than mine, holy
Yeah,
smokes, it's
all I
small.
can see is the, like the setbacks, I don't see the building. So. Sorry, I wasn't prepared for that question.
Sorry.
How much land do you have
gonna be kind of right across from Denny Dole's place then? No. Or not quite.
So,
It's on the southeast corner of K Avenue and E29.
Karen, there's a sign out there if you drive by on E29, there's already a
Yeah.
sign out for future location.
Well, I know where he just said it. I know that one. What will still be in the Toledo town right here, west, right down the street, what will still be here in the town?
Everything that's there.
Everything is still gonna be there. Even the cakes?
For now, yeah.
By me looking at this, Dan, the closest thing to the road is over 100 feet away. And most of it's almost 200 feet away.
Everything's pretty centrally located within the 18 acres. And, I mean, it's really gonna be a nice looking facility because we bought an extra amount of ground. We really probably didn't need to purchase that much, but we wanted to make sure that we had plenty of room out there.
Room to grow. I know you're still,
Oh, excuse me, are you finished?
go ahead, I can ask later.
Go ahead.
I know you're still looking up my previous question, but, what's your timeline on planning to build?
We'd like to start turning dirt on the, facility probably the next week or two.
Davies, they meet all the setbacks and everything, what are the zoning rules? Yes.
We can have two accesses to the facility, one from the highway and one from the gravel, or
That's
just
what
one?
we were hoping to discuss with the engineer. They would like 2 drives to the gravel road there.
Okay.
And,
one of the
I know Dan had discussed that they had contacted, FS had contacted about, putting gravel drives in. Is that something we need to zone and permit, or is that something you just need to bless off as far as culvert size and whatnot?
Yeah, that would just be on that side of things. We usually driveway permit would be what they would need it.
I believe Andrew LaPalma from DAA, our civil engineers from Minneapolis, said they had contacted somebody in your office, or maybe it was you even, about it.
Okay, yeah, I haven't, been, I guess, been aware of this facility, so.
So, my understanding is they would like to put 2 drives along.
If Ben needs anything, Dan, he's not going to.
Obviously,
Shoot it to him again.
Mm-hmm.
Guess I have one more question. Do your current plans leave you enough room within our zoning restrictions to build without needing exemptions in the future? Cause we've had a previous project where they didn't plan for needing further setbacks, and so they needed exemptions to get past our setbacks. I didn't know if your plans were leaving space for you to grow without needing exemptions in the future.
At this time, I believe we've met all the setbacks, so.
Well, like, I didn't know if you're like right against the setback, and then if you wanna grow, you need to go past your setback, or into the setback. Or do you have enough space to grow
I
without
think we
needing
have enough space
exemptions
to
in the
grow,
future?
yeah.
Okay.
18 acres for a piece of ground.
Depends on how you set it on those 18 acres, if you're like, oh, I wanna go this way.
Buildings, a lot of buildings, so.
Mhm.
Everything looks okay, Davies? Yeah.
The only thing that we'll have to just hash out is the gravel drives.
Or where the driveways are, yeah.
So all the traffic going to that would be turning onto the gravel before it turns in there. That's the way I would assume.
That's what I'm
You'd be
understanding.
turning onto the gravel road that's on the west side of the 18 acres. That's the way I read it.
At this time, we're asking,
Somebody else's field.
there's gonna be one entrance off E29 in the very northeast corner, and then 2 off in the gravel. Where our vision was to have, like you said, trucks coming to get loaded would come in on the gravel and exit on E29 in the northeast corner.
Good flow.
Are you gonna have either a helicopter or plane pad somewhere on there?
No,
You would need to go through adjustment if they're within the zone, that's only if they need exemptions. Sorry I asked such hard questions about the building.
Okay, so the office warehouse is 80 feet.
Okay.
By 24, that's the office, 80 by 24. And then the warehouse attached to it is 80.
No, that's all right, I realized that.
132.
80 by 132? And how tall are those buildings?
Maybe 20 feet.
You want a copy of that?
Thank you.
Yes, Dan said you want.
Okay, yeah. As long as you, I can just like, yeah, this is so.
Okay, I'm just trying to do it.
So what I was worried about was that you're driving along here and you've got fence all along the road and it's like, looks like a, looks like a gas. Kind of road aesthetic of the. That seems. Thank you.
Yeah,
Did
that's
you
just-
see that?
Yeah, just,
So he was saying, here's the, this is the highway, right? That's correct, this is the highway. So this was the program, they did the fencing around it. There's fencing around it, so we're getting ready.
This is on.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really flat right through there. I mean,
It's
line
5:45.
either way, it's really long ways.
You know, there's no pipe section in there where you can.
Just there's like the rural water lines run
Yeah,
right up KF.
Yeah, you just use it.
We're trying to, they're struggling right now with having enough water in Tama County right now.
Our usage is high. That's
Yeah,
what the
and
problem
no
is.
rain thing is, putting some major tasks on their system here. But,
Yes, exactly, yes.
oh, okay. Our timeframe of building this is such that
You really don't have
they think
plans
that
to
they're gonna
do
have the
like
wells and everything covered
carbon
in places. We're not,
fiber
we don't, we won't even be operational.
gas,
We can't ship
because of the water pipeline type stuff.
Yep.
Oh, working on the
So
sites.
that's an argument.
I just, I guess Chad, that's what he told me, he's like, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Fair warning.
Is that about it, Dan?
I'm done.
I'm done.
Everybody done? Yep. Laura, should we, act on this? You wanna go back to Ben, let him finish, do his thing, and then we'll read it?
Well, we're past your 9:45 time, so if you wanna go ahead and act on it, that's fine. I just wanna make sure I have it worded right for you gentlemen, so I'm going to write up to approve an anhydrous and bulk fuel storage facility at the intersection of E29 and K Avenue for New Century FS. Does that sound like it covers what you need for the state?
I would
Would you
maybe
like me
say
to-
bulk liquefied petroleum.
Bulk
When we do
liquefied
the-
petroleum?
Yeah, when we do the bulk fuel or bulk refined fuel, gas and diesel, we have to come back,
Okay,
for the state fire marshal to get another approval.
so anhydrous and bulk liquefied petroleum storage facility.
Unless you guys wanna approve it today.
Should we approve it today, you wanna wait till Bill's back?
It's up to you guys. I didn't know how soon they needed it, or,
How soon you need it, Dan? Bill will be back next week, we could approve it next week, put it on the agenda.
all
Would
three
that
of
be
you will
better?
be here?
Kurt will be here then.
Yeah, that's fine if you want.
What do you think, Kurt? Should we just do that whenever we're all here next week?
Yeah,
Is that all right with you?
yeah,
Okay, all right, let's just do that.
Okay,
We'll
Okay.
put
so
it
I'll
on the
move that to
agenda.
next week, and then the way I've worded it is correct for what you
Maybe
need.
just put liquefied petroleum in bulk fuel.
Okay, liquefied petroleum and bulk. Okay, okay,
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Dan.
perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, Ben, sorry to
No,
put you
you're-
on the back burner, my friend. That
you're
was-
right.
Was not intentional.
No, that's fine. I guess send this via email to Bill and Kurt, I guess.
Okay, that'd be great, right, go on there.
I guess, okay. So I guess, on the agenda, we had the kind of 20-year, weather tight warranty for the county shop, to be signed by the, board of supervisors.
Okay.
So, I guess, I don't know if you have any, roof is up, hasn't been any leaks or anything like that, so.
20-year warranty on it?
Yeah.
Do you need that signed today, or can we wait till next week?
We can wait till next week when everybody's here too, I guess that.
Don't you think, Kurt, we ought to wait till next week to sign this warranty form on the steel for the roof,
Yeah,
for maintenance shed?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Alright. Okay, so we'll put that on the agenda next week.
Yeah, yeah, then you guys can look over the agreement.
I got it then.
Okay, and then I have here from Power Chic Water, a utility permit. Somebody their well ran dry, so they're out of water, so, they were hooking up, some water, just going across, D65 there.
Okay.
Going under the road, so.
Laura, is it okay if I sign this? I'm not the chair.
No, you can just put acting chair.
Okay.
We're gonna bore under the road, so it's not gonna be tearing up the road, so.
Good.
Alright, sweet. Then I guess on to kind of what we got going on this week. We're working on V Avenue, cutting the edges of the road there. There's some berms there, so we're trying to get those off so rain can get out. Mowers are back this week. After Labor Day, we have the mowers come back, so they'll be mowing the ditches there. And then for the Toledo Bridge, they poured the deck last week, and then they're just kind of working on the open rails and trying to get those abutments backfilled. Then
How long is it gonna be before they can open it for use?
there'll still be a month or two, cause there's a trail underneath that they have to work on, and also have to do some approach paving, either side of the road that they'll have to do. And then I talked with Toledo, last Monday, in applying for this city bridge fund. They're interested in applying. It's for, the bridge, second bridge west of Highway 63 on 300th Street. I have the other piece. Anyway, I have a thing that kind of,
Right here, Bill?
yes, right there. The city, so, we can apply for the city bridge funds since it hits both the Toledo and us. So we'd have to jointly, apply for the grant, and that's October 1st is when we have to apply. The bridge would, on the total, funding that they give is up to 1.5 million, and that's just for, the construction of the bridge. That wouldn't be design cost or, that sort of thing.
I think it'd be great if we could do that.
Yeah, so anyway, I just wanted to kind of let you guys know the rating system that they have, is to apply to it. We're kind of in the middle range in last year's, grant that they approved up to kind of where we would end up. They have a point system that certain things about the bridge make it a little bit more likely to be. We have the only real issue is the substructure with it, but it's not still, it has not been load rated yet for, like, it's just a single truck per day. And so if we could get that kind of taken care of before it gets more, deteriorates more, that'd be great for Toledo and us, so.
That sounds
And
great.
So, and then, bridge crew, we got them kind of finishing up on M Avenue, and then, with the 2 tanker cars, and they're gonna work on, there's some guardrail on 160th Street that they need to work on, this week, so they're working on that. And then the shop, they're working through the punch list items. The generator is to be delivered, this Wednesday, and they went through the fire alarm system last week. So, that was, we're moving along.
They worked on the floor at all?
They, I think they've applied, when I looked out there, I will need to ask them on if they applied it in the parts room, cause I couldn't really tell if they applied it in the parts room yet. But in the main shop area, they applied it.
You got that done?
They got that done.
How's it
So
look?
it looks like a floor. I don't know, it's not,
like a concrete
it
floor.
looks like a concrete floor, so it's not overly pretty, but it's,
As long as it's functional and
Yeah.
work, that's what we care about.
yep, exactly, so. But that's all I got, unless you
Okay.
got anything else for me.
No, I don't have anything else, I don't believe.
Okay.
Kurt, you got anything else for Ben?
No, sounds good.
Good, thank you.
Do you have any water update, on your situation from how it's water, and you're talking about the well application, is there, any updates on the water situation? Coming out of Township Water?
You mean that the utility permit we just signed?
No, just on the water situation with Township Water.
What,
Evidently not, because you don't know.
what water? You mean
As in level of water, usage of water, water condition, water availability, everything water, Tama County.
I guess I would,
That'd be a no.
no.
The water situation is okay, it's good, I'm on board, so, usage was just so high there for a while when everything was spraying crops. That's what really took a lot of our extra away, so to speak. But, we're doing research and drilling some test holes. We're looking forward to putting some more wells in, and I think everything's gonna be fine. It's just, as far as levels of the water, I don't know, but I don't think they've dropped that much. So they've dropped some, but they're pretty static right now, so I think everything's gonna be fine.
You understood my question, didn't you, Dan?
I heard you.
Yeah, thanks.
You bet. Okay, thank you.
All right.
I'll look through these, claims for a second, and we'll get those approved, Kurt.
Sounds good.
The claims, $203,202.09. So would you like to make a motion to approve those?
I'd like to make that motion, we accept the claims.
Okay, thank you, I'll second that, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay, motion carried. Thanks, Laura. I believe that's it for the agenda.
Yes, it is. Do you have anything else? Okay, I'll adjourn you at 10:03.
Thanks, Kurt.
You bet, have a good week.
You bet, you too, see ya.